Okay, so we're going to talk about describing and measuring motion. So how we describe things that are moving and how we measure things that are moving. First of all, some reminders. Pause and rewind whenever you need to. Keep a lookout for test question alerts and write down all highlighted vocabulary. So, when is an object in motion? Motion is the change in position of an object from one place to another. We talked about this in class today. And in order for something to be moving, you need to have a reference point, which is a place or object used to determine if something is in motion. An object is in motion if it changes position relative to a reference point. So in order for something to move, it has to change its position in relation to something that isn't moving. And there are three ways to describe motion, which we talked about in class today as well. And there are three questions. It's how far, how long does it take, and how fast. So we measure motion using speed. Speed is the distance an object moves in a given amount of time. And for our unit, we're going to use meters per second, or m divided by s. And it looks like this. So basically we ask our three questions. How fast is equal to how far it goes and how long it took to get there. Or speed equals the distance it traveled over the time. And we're going to work on calculations in class either Monday or tomorrow. One thing I want to make you aware of is average speed versus instantaneous speed. Average speed is the total distance traveled divided by the total time. So that's the speed over its entire traveling distance. Instantaneous speed is the speed at a given moment of time. So think of it like a marathon. In a marathon, sometimes you run slower or you run faster depending on where you are. Some people run faster at the beginning to get ahead. Some people run faster at the end to try and catch up and win the marathon. The person with the highest average speed is going to win the marathon. The person with the highest instantaneous speed might be traveling faster at that given time, but he won't win the race because his average speed isn't higher. And we'll talk about this more as we go through and we graph distance over time and we calculate speed, and it'll all make sense. The last thing I want to tell you about is velocity. Velocity is speed in a given direction. So velocity is what's called a vector quantity. It means it has a direction. So 10 meters per second north or 10 meters per second toward the door to the school are all velocities because they have direction. If I just said 10 meters per second, that's speed. And that's all I have for you.